What's up, everybody? This is Kiki coming to you today to send nothing but love, peace, and positivity your way. Getting ready to have my little afternoon snack and talk to you for a little bit. So, hope everybody's day is going well. I was sitting in a parking lot on a phone call, and there were people already parked near me. And so they were able to get in the parking spot without an issue. We both have our own space. I'm in my own lane. He's in his own lane. And they pulled out just fine. Another guy pulled in with this big old, looked like a F-150 with extra big tires. Looked like he was in a rush. He swings in real quick and parked near me, but he didn't park right. And I guess because the truck was so big, he just did not feel like backing out and positioning his truck in the right way. So he gets out because he got to touch my truck in order to get out. But I was looking at him because if he hit my truck, he was going to take care of the paint job. But he struggles and he finally get out. And he making all these grumpy, angry noises. And like I'm supposed to be like, oh, I'm sorry, sir. Do you want me to move? I mean, nobody next him to park near me and try to squeeze in with that big old truck. But anyway, he gets out humping and grunting and all that kind of mess. And he noticed I was in the truck, but he didn't say anything. He just kind of gave me this dirty look. And, you know, I said to myself, you know, it's just a lot of miserable people walking around in this society. It doesn't make any sense. I don't know if it's the sun cooking some brain cells. I don't know. But, you know, I'm big on positivity. And I know there's a moment in time when you have to be really, you know, straightforward, bitchiness with it. And there are moments when, you know, you gotta kind of have a little bit of peace and be humble, you know, in your heart. But I mean, at least I see some smiles on the Indian faces. Boy, this is an Indian on a whole nother level. But with all that mess going on over there in the Middle Eastern, I'm surprised they over here excited, but it's all good. Anyway, like I was saying, I know that people are going to have good days and bad days, but look, you got to pick your battle. This is why a lot of people are walking around sick with a whole lot of different health conditions, because they let petty stuff stress them out. And so this is kind of my little tip for you guys. These are the tips I also try to apply in my life. And, you know, when I be having them stressful days in the classroom, I can just click on my video and kind of go back and keep myself motivated, because that's one stressful job. It's no way you can make it less stressful unless you go outside and teach barefooted out in the field and under a shaded area. But the thing is, you know, everybody's going to deal with some type of stressors in their life. And you have to kind of look at it this way. Is it really worth destroying your peace of mind? Is it worth hindering your God-given gift for the stressor? And that's kind of how you have to see it. You have to really, really think outside of the box in order to survive in this matrix. Because I'm telling you, stressors lead to addictions. Ain't no way around it. Like I said, if you're stressed out because you haven't dealt with mental health, childhood trauma type stuff, it's going to lead to you trying to go sex it away, drink it away, smoke it away, eat it away, whatever addiction, gamble it away, whatever addiction you have, spend up all your money. That is a part of the side effect of being stressed and frustrated, you know, or leading to a lot of depression and pills and to the point where you just sleeping your life away. And that is not the purpose for us to be here. In that case, it would be arranged for us to not work and just sleep all day long. Okay, even animals don't even sleep all day long. But when you are on a job and you know that your manager or your supervisor is trying to stress you out, you got to determine whether this job is worth your time. Is it worth getting paid more money? Because I'm going to tell you, the higher up you go, a lot of people are like, oh, you don't have as much work because you're the manager. Not quite. It don't quite work that way. It's like it may be less work, but it's very heavy when you are climbing up the ladder. And the more money you make, the more responsibilities you have, right? So just like, a long time ago when I was working for a child care center, I was the director's assistant. So the director was responsible for all the teachers' whereabouts and schedules and, whatever goes on in their classroom. They were responsible for that. Even though they got a chance, the director got a chance to be in the office, but the minute something go wrong, that pressure falls right on the director. So if you got 3 things going wrong in the school, all of those 3 things fall in the director's lap, and she got to resolve those issues and hope that it's not a severe issue where the police or the paramedics got to get involved. So yeah, she got paid more money, but she was losing her hair too, because I saw it. She was thinning. So the thing is, you got to determine whether money is worth you losing out on your health. Because basically, all you doing is working extra hard to collect the money you need to make it easy for them to pay for your burial expenses. That's all. That's what it seemed like. Because when you are trying to work hard and enjoy the pleasures of life, it's a temporary type of pleasure. It's not like you get to enjoy it year round. And even if you do get lucky and win the lottery or become wealthy, it still comes with a time limit. It does, before something go wrong. And I hate to sound pessimistic, but I'm just looking at the world and the way things been going. I haven't had a chance to be wealthy. Hopefully one day I get a chance to get my feet wet and see what it feels like. But I've been watching the news, and I've been watching a lot of wealthy families go through some hell. And I don't know if it's because, they are doing something illegal and it's catching up with them. I don't know. But you got to know what is worth your peace of mind. If you got hard-headed ass kids that's stressing you out, they always in some trouble, they always doing certain things, being disrespectful, don't show appreciation. I know you birthed that child here on earth, but that is not, it's not for you to lose your peace of mind behind that child. Because I've seen situations where a parent was so stressed out. In this case, the parent did not have to deal with a hard-headed child, but the parent was so stressed out over the well-being of their child because the child was sickly. The parent ended up having a heart attack. And passed away. So I'm like, how can you be of service or be there for somebody if your health is in a fucked up position because you stressing out over everybody else? Just like another circumstance where, if you were with a partner, I was just watching this YouTube video about this woman telling her story about how many times it took her to actually permanently leave her partner because he or she, I don't know, she didn't really specify whether she was with a woman or a man, but she just said her ass was getting kicked almost every other day. And she loved him and wanted to believe that it was going to get better, but nothing she said or did was going to improve their relationship. And I had to respond to that because I told her, I said, look, don't feel bad, and I told her I can relate to that situation very well. I said that what you were dealing with, you was dealing with a broken man or a woman, whoever your partner is, that had high insecurities. And when you showed them real true love, they didn't know how to handle that because they didn't have self-love within themselves. So the lesson for you being in that domestic violent type of situation was for you to develop self-love. See, a lot of times we hate the people that bring turmoil in our lives, but we don't really take out the time to sit down and say, you know what, I'm gonna take my emotions out of it and I'm gonna really look at it in a logical situation. Why did I settle for somebody like that? Why did it take me so long for me to realize that my life is really in danger and I need to leave this man alone? Because no matter how much love I pour into this person, it's not good enough. And then that's when you develop your self-love, because now it's time for you to pour back into yourself in order for you to have a peace of mind. See, you can't save everybody. It's not meant for you to save everybody. It's only meant for you to work with them. Yes, I do believe that human beings are put on earth from all backgrounds to work together collectively, but not to sacrifice your peace, your mind, your health, just to work with somebody. I just don't believe that's the case. I just don't. So, you know, I told her that she's loved, she has purpose, she's important. Do not, fall victim to, that situation again. And I said that basically when you settle in any situation with anybody, for them to take advantage of your God-given gift, because see, look, we're all walking around with a seed planted in us, and it's a God-given gift. Like I said, it doesn't matter if you know how to draw, sing, dance, do hair. It's a special gift we're all given in a very unique way. Whether it's cooking, it doesn't matter. If you are so stressed out over somebody else acting an ass and trying to disturb your peace, you are not able to accomplish your gift or use your gift so you can accomplish blessings from using your gift. Because your gift could heal somebody. If you're a singer, if you're a musician, it could potentially heal somebody and save somebody's life. There are many songs that I have heard that really brought me out of the funk of depression. So, like I said, y'all walking around here not living in y'all purpose. Many people. I had to learn it too. So I ain't trying to come down hard on anybody. But a lot of people, hold on, y'all. Well, it don't look like our friends smiling anymore, because that sky, ooh, that sky ain't no joke over there. Yep, I'm about to conclude this video. But real quick, I was talking about stressors. I was talking about making sure you have self-love and not allow your God-given gift to be destroyed. And you got to really meditate and take out the time to focus on your inner thoughts in order for you to know what your God-given gift is. If you are overwhelmed and you have a lot of toxic, unhealthy things going on within you, especially when you are taking in negativity through social media, viewing negative things, even in your neighborhood, your eyes are portals, and that takes that in and cause you to think a certain way. So if you're around a lot of negativity, that's negative energy going into your portal in your brain and causing you to always think negative. You're always thinking that you ain't good enough. You ain't, you can't do certain things, or you don't want to leave a toxic relationship because you're scared of the unfamiliar. You can't put yourself in that position, because then you're hindering growth. You're hindering your blessings, basically, because you worrying about, how I'm gonna make ends meet. Where's your faith? Where's your faith within yourself? Because if you believe in there's a God or Jesus, and you know that we're all children and connected spiritually to God, and that means you don't really have faith in God if you don't have faith in yourself. And so, you know how I like to give examples or descriptions, analogies. Just imagine you are laying down and you got all these different stressors placed in a shoebox. We'll say a size 10 shoebox. And you put that shoebox on your chest. And that first shoebox represent stressors about your career. You don't really know if you should focus on going to school, whether you should start your own business. You need to really take out the time to meditate and figure it out. But stressing about it is not going to solve the issue. So now you got that shoebox on your chest. That's one stress. Then you got another shoebox. Now you're stressing about possibly your relationship. Say if you are older and you are frustrated because you're not where you want to be in life. Maybe that's tied to your career and your money. And now you got stress going on in your relationship because money is coming up short. Y'all can't do what y'all want to do. And y'all both just got to work all the time. And then you might be complaining that your partner is always at work, or always spending time with the homeboys, or always running to his mama and his parents for every little thing to control his life and his decisions. So that's another stressor. And it can go vice versa, man or woman. So that's another box on top of that other box. So here's another box. So now you got your stressing about your career, and whether you want to go to school or whether you don't want to go to school. You're stressing about starting a business. You're scared that you might end up broke. That's a lack mindset. You're not thinking that the Most High can guide your mind and open up doors for you when you are doing the right thing. You got to be balanced. Your ass can't be out here smoking, getting high, being a criminal, prostituting, ripping people off, and then you thinking you finna go and make some good choices and get blessings. It doesn't quite work that way. And like I told you, there are the good blessings, and then there are the bad blessings. And the bad blessings may feel like they're good blessings, but they get stripped away faster. And then they add more karma on top of what you already got going on. So that's the difference. I told you there's duality in this world. There's the good and the bad and everything. So just like, people get blessed with signing a contract. That's a blessing to them, but they know they ain't really earn it. They know that they backstab somebody. They know that they used to sell drugs. They used to do some criminal activity, but then they get blessed with, oh, they got a rap deal. They signing a contract. But guess what? It comes with other issues. Now you got to sacrifice certain things. And sometimes it may involve one of your family members. Then all of a sudden, you find out one of your family members been overdosed or caught up in some bullshit that could have been avoided. Then now you can't even perform like you used to because you so hurt from that death or that situation, or it threw you off, or you got locked up. Now you got karma on top. Your blessings been snatched away and you got karma on top of it. So it's like, you got to know the difference. But let's keep going with my little example. So now you got 2 boxes. They're pretty heavy. They on top of you. Now you got bills. Now you stressing about that. Now you got, of course, bills not going anywhere. As long as you are dependent on the government, it's not. So you got light bill, rent, or mortgage. You got, insurance. You have car notes. You got, whatever else, medical bills. All of that, that's another box stacked on top of your chest. And you trying to figure out, okay, how you going to balance everything out because you barely making ends meet. Then you got another stressor. Then you got the stressors of your coworkers that's, acting phony, trying to throw you under the bus. You don't know if you doing a good enough job, whether you're going to keep your job or whether you're going to get fired. You got competition. You got people hating on you, smiling in your face, stealing your ideas, trying to make it seem like it's their ideas. You working your ass off, making the business look good, and you are really making the business look good because you qualified, you certified, but then they still treat you like you beneath them, and then they, giving you a hard time, or they put an extra workload on you just to make you tap out so they can put somebody else in your place. So that's another box that you got to deal with. Then maybe you might go to church and you stressing because maybe you participated in joining the choir team, or you participated in worship, or you supposed to do a special duty and job in church. Now you stressing because you ain't able to fulfill your duties, or you don't want to disappoint the pastor, or you coming up short with tithing. And then you stress because he making you feel guilty because you ain't bringing in money fast enough, and he acting like another bill collector. So now you got another box stacked on top of you. Now let's say if you have children, you have children, and maybe they are dealing with an illness, or maybe they dealing with stressors of not being able to understand the work in school, and they barely passing, or they might be diagnosed with some type of learning condition, and they might have an IEP, and or they dealing with bullying, and they acting depressed and different things like that. That's another box that's stacked up. And then now you still trying to operate your body's, your organs, they still trying to operate the normal way, but with all this stress on your chest, you barely can inhale, exhale. And once you start constricting airway, then it affects your blood flow. Then it affects and it causes other issues that happens within your body. That's how I see stress. That's just how I see stress. All those different issues, that's how I see stress. Then, like I said, you got the other extra stressors of maybe dealing with a police officer and a ticket, dealing with some bitchy ass strangers that, like I did today, that couldn't even park right and expected me to be like, catering to the attitude. It's just, you got to know there's a point in time where you got to just slow down, go within, and say, you know what? I got the power to overcome this and figure this out. Because if you sit here and you say, I don't know what to do, I give up, I don't want to take accountability of some of the stuff that I created in my own life, or I don't, I've been lazy because I've been focusing on some bullshit. I'm on social media, BBL, liking all the pictures and Instagram all day long. I'm constantly getting high with the homeboys all day long, or the homegirls. I'm constantly fucking around with different people. I don't know if I want to be, straight or gay. I'm all over the place. When your life is so out of whack and is chaotic, then it's gonna show in every single part of your life. And I don't care how much you look good and try to hide it. It's gonna show. It's gonna show in your finances. It's gonna show how you upkeep your home and the cleanliness of your home. It's gonna even show in your refrigerator. You open up your refrigerator, you don't got no fruit, no water. You got a whole lot of bullshit in your refrigerator. A whole box of greasy chicken, a whole lot of ice cream. You got more snacks than you have real healthy vegetable food. A whole lot of juice, Hawaiian punch juices, and wondering why everybody walking around with a UTI a whole lot of Pepsi, Coca-Cola, wondering why you can't even hold your phone straight because you're trembling. You're drinking a whole lot of coffee every morning because you're stressed out. You're smoking a cigarette every 5 minutes. See, people actually have, like, I know a lot of people like this. I ain't trying to laugh and pick on nobody because I have my issues and my addictions too. I ain't gonna lie. I used to keep me a box of honey buns somewhere. If it ain't in my cabinet, it's somewhere hidden in my room. And I had to cut that shit out. You know, how can I complain about my life or my health if I'm condemning my own self? You know what I mean? And that's because some people like to emotional eat. And then we wondering, you know, why is my weight not going anywhere? Well, maybe because you are not trying to make it go anywhere. You know, dealing with, you know, toxic people. You are attracting toxic people in your life. You know, that's another stressor. You wondering why your nerves not flowing right. You're having numbness in certain parts of your body, diabetes attacking you, high blood pressure, all of that from stressors. The people we invite in our lives. And we wondering, what in the hell is going on? When you lose, and sometimes you gotta lose self-control and almost die in order to be reborn, in order to be reincarnated in a new body, much like what happened with Jesus. He dealt with so many stressors, traveling around to different cities, different countries, however he got around, dealing with a whole neighborhood against him, claiming he's a liar, gossiping about him, he being bullied, he's being tortured, all those stressors, and he still tried to keep his head up and fight through it to the point where he couldn't fight no more. He pretty much had to be reincarnated, come back in the spiritual way. Doesn't that sound familiar with a lot of us? A lot of times we don't physically die, we spiritually die and come back with a different mindset. We come back reincarnated with a whole different way of living. Like for me, I died back in July 2023. I feel like that's when I my spirit died, because I felt like I lost the love of my life and I could not see nothing else. I lost myself into someone else, loving someone else. And I had to do something. I had to do something because I became so codependent to where I really didn't know. I really was lost. And I had to come to my senses and tell myself, I had to cuss myself out. I had to torture myself. I had to go on a fast. I had to snatch away all my snacks. I had to do a whole 360 within my own body and mind and realize that, okay, if I'm a child of God and this world was put here for me to flourish, why am I giving up on life for somebody else that don't even really care about how I feel? They don't care if I'm broke and homeless. They don't care if they even contaminate my body with any type of issues because of lying and deceptions and cheating. So why am I acting like I want to give up over some bullshit, man, like that? And that's when I had to really wake up and come to my senses. Why should I beg to be accepted with my family members when they upset with me because I want a better life? They feel like, okay, well, we're still alive. We've been eating pork all our lives. We ain't, struggling. Demons will have you thinking that your life is in a good position. Yes, they will. They will put a blind shield over your eye, make you think smoking, doing coke, drinking is fun, and there's nothing wrong with it. They will put a shield over your eye and make you think eating a whole box of pizza and a whole box of donuts by yourself is the most fulfilling thing ever in your life. They'll put a shield over your eyes and make you think just because somebody gave you $50 to bring their contaminated, reckless dick inside of your portal, you would think you would feel loved and special because he gave you $50. Yeah, there are some people out here with that type of mindset, and they will condemn somebody else that refused to go that route. So all I'm saying is, we're not put here to compete. We're not really put here to judge, but we are put here to enlighten others and wake each other up. Because if you love your brother and sister, you will speak life into them. When I give advice, and it may be a little harsh, but I ain't lying. It's because I love you and I care about you. Some people feel like, oh, I gave you a house, I gave you, some food, I gave you transportation. I love you. That's all I got. And knowing you got issues, knowing you got addictions, and will watch you crash and burn. Just so they can feel like I did my part, but they know that you wasn't responsible enough to keep up a house. They know that you was not in the right mindset to be driving no vehicle. They know. But then they'll use that as an excuse. I did give you this. I did give you materialism. That comes and goes. Your life is with you until you check out. So why not live it to the fullest? Why not speak positivity in people? Why not give a brother a helping hand? And it doesn't have to always be giving out money. It doesn't. Lately, my spirit guides, my spirit team, they've been coming at me every day, every minute on the hour, and I'm like, okay, let me slow it down. I'm aging, kind of bear with me. I ain't 20 with a lot of energy. I gotta do a little video, a little bit at a time, because I'm still trying to process all this information. So I will try to at least give you a video, if not every day, at least, more than once out of the week. This is my way of saying, I want to see you make it. I believe in you. You just got to get those demons under control. You got to stop being a people pleaser. You have to stop looking for validation, because there is a such thing as being attention whore. Yes, that does exist. And I know it's hard, because whatever you lacked in your childhood, you're trying to make up for it. But don't do it in an unhealthy way. That's all I'm saying. Because you definitely don't want that same energy to follow you into your next life. You definitely don't want to create more karma being deceptive and being greedy, being unfair. So I'm done. I'm going to go ahead and conclude it for today. I just wanted to come on real quick. I love you, and until next time, peace out.